Let's unpack this. We are launching a deep dive today that's all about the machine you inhabit every single day. Specifically, the amazing custom engineered structure inside your body that lets you stand, run, think, and even do these rapid subconscious things like blinking.
The material you sent us it's gold. It's basically the ultimate blueprint for the human body, and it focuses on three incredible systems: bones, muscles, and that high-speed communication network that connects them all.
Absolutely. So our mission is to zoom in on every single one of these foundational concepts, all 24 vocabulary terms and those 12 big questions, so you walk away understanding not just what the parts are, but why they do what they do.
Exactly. This is more than just anatomy. It's like mechanical engineering. We're focusing on function and protection. And to understand how you move, we first have to get the foundational structure that gives you shape. So let's start there.
Right, with the ultimate internal scaffolding. The skeleton. I mean, if you ask a simple question, why do we even need bones? The answer is everything. Bones are the hard parts of your body that give you your shape and protect all those soft, vital organs.
That's the key takeaway. If we didn't have bones, you couldn't stand up or walk. You'd literally be floppy like a piece of jelly.
Just a puddle.
A puddle, exactly. And when you put all of those hard parts together, that whole structure is called the skeleton.
Your own internal suit of armor.
Yep, essential for holding everything in place.
And the most precious cargo, of course, requires the strongest protection. If we start at the top, what's protecting our command center?
That would be the skull, the collection of bones in your head.
And it's so important because it's guarding the brain.
The undisputed master control center. The brain runs literally everything. Moving your hand, breathing, thinking about what you ate for lunch. It all happens in there.
When you look at a skull, it seems like one smooth piece, but it's actually several different plates fitted together, isn't it?
That's where the detail is fascinating. Those plates are held together by special rigid joints called sutures.
Sutures, okay.
Yeah, and you can think of them not as hinges that move, but more like these incredibly complex interlocking puzzle pieces. They hold the bones so tightly together, they basically form an unbreakable helmet.
Wow. Okay, so moving down from the brain, the ribs are kind of the next big line of defense.
For sure. We know the ribs are those curved bones protecting the organs in your chest.
But which organs specifically need that constant shield?
They're protecting the tireless workers, the heart and the lungs. The lungs help you breathe, bringing in oxygen, and the heart is the pump that keeps everything moving.
Right, it pushes the blood, that's the liquid carrying oxygen and nutrients all over your body.
Exactly. And those organs never stop, so the ribs form this kind of flexible cage that's built for 247 protection. It allows just enough movement for you to take a deep breath.
It's amazing how the body is designed to protect the things that are always active. Now, what about the spine? It looks like one single column, but it's not.
No, it's not. The spine is actually made of many small stacked bones called vertebrae. It's flexible, which lets you bend and twist, but its main job, its primary role, is to protect the single most important cable connecting the brain to the body.
The spinal cord.
The spinal cord.
Yeah.
It's not just a simple wire. It's a massive bundle of nerves, a superhighway for communication.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it sends instant messages from your brain to the rest of your body and back again. And that's why the vertebrae are so critical. If that highway gets badly injured, the flow of messages can be cut off.
And that's when paralysis can happen.
That's right. You could lose the ability to move parts of your body. So the vertebrae are the ultimate safeguard, built like a series of interlocking protective rings.
That really puts the importance of every single bone in perspective. But before we leave the skeleton, we have to talk about what's inside the bones. They're not just solid rock.
No, and what's fascinating here is that bones aren't just passive supports. They are active factories. Inside the larger bones is a soft material called marrow, and its main job is to produce your blood cells. So think about it. Your skeleton is not only your structure, but it's also constantly manufacturing the stuff you need to carry oxygen and fight infection.
Incredible. So, okay, we've built the structure, the internal armor, but armor needs to move. And if bone just meets bone, you're going to get friction, and that would hurt. So how does the body deal with that?
We need joints. Joints are simply the places where two bones meet, and they're essential for motion. But to make that movement smooth, we need three distinct types of connective tissue.
Right, and this is where it gets critical to keep them straight. I think you called them the three connectors?
Yeah, we can think of them as the cushion, the duct tape, and the puppet string.
Okay, I like that. Let's start with the cushion.
The cushion is cartilage. This is a smooth, kind of bendy, flexible tissue that sits between the bones at the joints. It absorbs shock and makes sure bone doesn't scrape on bone.
So it's the smooth stuff. Okay, now the duct tape.
The connective tissue that holds the joint together. Those are the ligaments. Ligaments are tough bands that connect bone to bone, keeping the entire joint stable. They're the duct tape of the skeleton, basically. They stop your knee from wobbling when you run.
Got it. Bone to bone. And that leaves the puppet strings.
Yep. So we need the tissue that connects the engine, the muscle, to the structure, the bone. Those are the tendons. Tendons are bands that connect your muscles to your bones.
Ah, so they act like puppet strings, translating the pull of the muscle into the movement of the bone.
Exactly.
That makes the distinction so much clearer. Ligaments hold bone to bone. Tendons pull muscle to bone. And getting back to cartilage for a second, question 8 in the material asks where else we can find it.
Oh, it's everywhere we need flexible structure. You can find cartilage in surprising places you might not even think of, like the tip of your nose and your ears.
So that's why they can bend without breaking.
That's exactly why.
Okay, so with the connectors in place, let's talk about the incredible range of motion these joints allow. The body uses 4 major types of joints, which is in question 6.
Right. Each one helps us move in a different way. We can start with the simple mechanical ones. The hinge joint works exactly like a door hinge. It only swings open and closed.
Like your elbow or your knee?
Yep, classic examples. They provide a lot of stability because they don't really twist.
Okay, then you have the most complex and flexible one, the ball and socket joint.
This is where one end of a bone, shaped like a ball, fits into a cup-like socket on another bone. This allows for massive rotation and freedom. Think about how you can swing your arm completely around at your shoulder or your leg at your hip.
That freedom is amazing, but I guess it comes at a cost, right?
It does. It highlights a trade-off in the body's engineering. Because ball and socket joints offer the most freedom, they also have less structural stability. That's why your shoulder and hip are the easiest joints to, dislocate.
That makes sense. Okay, the third type is the pivot joint.
This one lets one bone rotate around a central point, kind of like turning a key. The best example is the joint in your neck that allows you to shake your head from side to side.
And the last one?
The gliding joint. This is found where flat bones slide past each other, giving you a more limited, subtle kind of movement. You use these all the time in your wrists and your ankle when you flex them.
So hinge, ball and socket, pivot, and gliding. Each one for a different job.
Perfectly customized.
Excellent breakdown. Now let's talk about the engine that pulls on those beautifully engineered structures. The muscles.
Right. Question 7 asks about the scale of this engine. And you have a staggering number. About 600 muscles in your body.
600. And their function is to move your bones, yes, but also a lot more.
Oh, much more. They move your internal organs, they help your heart beat, and they allow systems like your lungs to work.
This is where it gets really interesting because you have 2 main teams of muscle. Question 9 gets into the difference between the ones you control and the ones that just run on autopilot.
We call them voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. Voluntary muscles are the ones you move on purpose. You consciously decide, I'm going to lift this book.
So your arm and leg muscles are prime examples.
Exactly. The sources also call those skeletal muscles because they're attached directly to your skeleton with those tendons we just talked about. They're the power source for moving your frame.
Okay, so then involuntary muscles are the ones that move without you ever thinking about them.
Yep. You don't have to tell your stomach to churn your food or your heart to beat. They just work automatically, 24/7.
And even within that involuntary group, there are specialized teams. You've got the smooth muscles.
Right. Those are the involuntary muscles found in places like your stomach and your intestines, helping push things along during digestion.
And then the true endurance champion, the cardiac muscles.
Yes. These are the special superpowered muscles that make your heart beat. They are totally unique because they're involuntary, but unlike other muscles, they never get tired. They just have to work constantly.
That's a good point. So to understand how muscles move, we have to look at how they work together because muscles only pull, right? They can't push.
That's a critical mechanical insight. When you contract your biceps to bend your arm, you're pulling your forearm up. But to straighten your arm, you need a different muscle, the triceps, to contract and pull it back down.
So they work in pairs.
Almost all skeletal movement involves these opposing pairs working in perfect coordination.
And that constant coordinated pulling requires some serious power in certain areas. Let's look at the ultimate power pair from question 4, the longest bone and the largest muscle.
The longest bone in your body is the femur, which is your thigh bone. and the largest muscle is the gluteus maximus.
And they work together to perform the most basic human movements.
That's right, helping you stand up, walk, and run. That's where you get that combination of sheer power and leverage.
So moving from the action systems, we have to talk about the body's communication network. If the brain is the control center and the spinal cord is the main highway, how does the brain talk to every single muscle and piece of skin?
That's where the nerves come in. Question 11 defines them as tiny pathways that send electrical messages between your brain and your body.
And they're everywhere.
Everywhere. They branch out from the spinal cord to literally every corner of your body, acting like a massive high-speed internet system.
And sometimes that communication has to be faster than thought. Question 10 is about the body's built-in safety features, these ultra-fast automatic responses.
We call that a reflex. A reflex is a rapid reaction your body does automatically, without the message having to travel all the way up to your thinking brain and back.
So it's a shortcut.
The total shortcut. The signal often just goes to the spinal cord and bounces right back to the muscle.
The example in the material is perfect. Blinking when something comes close to your eyes. You don't decide to do that.
Not at all. You don't consciously think, I feel wind, I must blink. Your nerves signal danger, and the reflex happens instantly to protect your vision. It's pure, immediate self-preservation.
Okay, so we've established the full framework. The protective skeleton, the cushioned joints, the powerful muscles, and the lightning-fast nerve network. Now let's talk about keeping all of it strong and growing.
This starts right at birth. Question 5 asks how a baby's bones are different from an adult's.
And they're very different.
Very. A baby's bones are actually much softer, and they're not fully joined together yet, especially in the skull. This allows for flexibility during birth and for rapid growth afterward.
So as a child grows, the bones harden and slowly fuse together.
Exactly. And that process continues all the way until you reach full adulthood.
To make sure they fuse strong, though, we need the right fuel. The vocabulary here focuses on the key building blocks. We need vitamins.
Which are nutrients that help your body grow and work properly.
And minerals, which are natural substances your body needs to stay healthy.
And the absolute most famous mineral for bone strength is, of course, calcium. Calcium is specifically the mineral that gets integrated into the bone structure, making it hard and resilient. You have to feed those bone factories what they need.
And if the body struggles to maintain that strength or doesn't get enough calcium over time, what happens?
You can develop a condition called osteoporosis.
Mm.
This is a disease that makes the bones weak and porous, meaning they're much easier to break.
Which is why good nutrition and exercise are so important your whole life.
A lifelong necessity. Exercise strengthens the muscles that pull on the bones, and that encourages the bones to become denser and stronger.
So what does this all mean? We've covered the entire framework of your body, from the protective, suture-locked skull down to the nervous pathways that kick off a reflex. You now understand the incredible mechanical magic that allows you to move and think.
And you have a quick, thorough command over the entire unit. You know the 3 key connective tissues ligaments as the duct tape for stability, tendons as the puppet strings for movement, and cartilage as the shock-absorbing cushion.
And you know the difference between the 4 main joint types, from the swinging hinge to the rotating ball and socket, and how they let you navigate the world. We focused a lot on how the vertebrae protect the spinal cord and the ribs protect the heart and lungs with this dense structural armor. And this raises an important question. If the body dedicates such sophisticated visible armor to mechanical and communication systems, what other invisible armor might your body have? Maybe systems we never see, like chemical defenses or cellular repair mechanisms that are protecting you every second without us even thinking about it. Something to mull or explore on your own.